Major support for Do the Math has been provided by Chevron, the Kern County Superintendent of Schools, Edison International, Kern Schools Federal Credit Union, California Resources Corporation, Bakersfield West Rotary Stroop Family Foundation, Panama Buena Vista Union School District, Bakersfield City School District, and the Kern High School District, with additional production assistance provided by these supporters of education in Kern County and throughout the state of California.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to Do the Math. I'm Michael.
I'm Susie. If you need help with your homework, you can call us in Bakersfield at 636-4357. From San Luis Obispo or other outlying areas, you can call toll-free at 1-866-636-6284. You can also email us at dothemath@kern.org, and you can watch online at dothemathonline.net. You can also look for us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube.
You know what? There's going to be a whole bunch of things out there, so I'm sure they're going to intertwine all of these things and add 6 more by the time we're done with this in another year or so. Anyway, we do have phone tutors available until 5:30 this afternoon, as we do most Tuesdays and Wednesdays throughout the regular school year. We'll be visiting one of our favorite spots today, the bank. Actually, it's not a bank, it's a credit union. Kern Schools Federal Credit Union. We'll be visiting with those folks out there at the West High School campus because they've got some branches in different high schools to work with the ROC program. We have a special young man in studio with us. We'll be visiting with him in a little bit. But before we get to any of that, we also have a phone call waiting. But first things first, let's take a look at today's Math in the News. So this is an article that came out reminding us of a story that came out in 2018. Okay, so it's not too old, but it's actually 2019 now. The American Civil War, and you were commenting your daughter prefers to study about the Civil War and read about it. Why is that? I mean, does she?
I'm not sure, but she's read a lot of books and watched a lot of specials on it.
So she knows a lot about the Civil War.
Yeah, she does.
All right. Well, here we can see a couple of photos of the Civil War, men that were part of the Civil War. And there was one guy, Private Mose Triplett. He enlisted in 1962 at the age of 16 years old.
Wow.
All right. Now, there were a lot of people in the Revolution and the Civil War. They would enlist early. They were very young when they enlisted. So let's go on to the next slide. And we can see that Mose, obviously being in the Civil War, died.
Right.
All right. And he died in 1938. All right. 92 years old. Ben was in the Civil War. Now, the reason this came up is because up until 2017, the government was still paying out Triplett's war pension.
Wow.
All right. So they were still paying the pension from him being in the Civil War all the way through the year 2017. All right. So he lived obviously a long time. All right. Now, he got married late in life. So he was in his 80s when he married. Okay. So this is in the 1900s when he married. All right. He had a couple of kids, and the lone survivor, the survivor of all of his kids, was Irene. All right, and you can see here's a little document honoring real daughter Irene Triplett. Okay, now the reason I bring this story up is because they were paying out the pension from that time all the way through 2017. All right, now the amount was $73.13 a month. Okay, so $73.13 a month is what it started at. and it's what it ended at. Okay, so she never received any more than $73.13 per month. Okay, that doesn't count in inflation, obviously. So I figured, all right, let's take a look at inflation and how you calculate it. So the inflation calculator, which is what we've got right here, is according to the Consumer Price Index. And the Consumer Price Index, you remember, is, a lot of people may remember it, a lot of times it's referenced when we talk about the 12 Days of Christmas, that song, right? If you bought a, what is it, a partridge in a pear tree, right? How much would a partridge in a pear tree actually cost during certain years, okay? And the Consumer Price Index gives us that information. So we can see here's the formula for inflation rate, and $73.13, what do you think that would have been? I know
That's a
I'm
lot of
giving
money
you,
back then.
you know, like instead of getting $73 a month, if it went along with inflation, what do you think it would be per month?
I'm thinking in the thousands.
Oh, you know what? You're right on. $1,189.90. So that's what she should have been getting. You know, oh yeah, indeed, right? Another $1,100 a month would go a long way,
Yes.
as far as, you know, getting a war pension and things like that. But anyway, nicely done that the government kept looking out for Mose,
Yeah,
and
his
his
daughter.
daughter kept on living all the way up until 2017. That is today's Math in the News. 636-4357 is the phone number. We do have phone tutors available until 5:30. In studio with us right now, we have Logan. How are you?
Good.
Why don't you let everybody know where you go to school and what grade you're in?
I go to Ronald Reagan Elementary and I'm in 6th grade.
6th grade going well?
Yep.
How long have you been at Reagan?
I've been in it since kindergarten.
Okay, so a student was in yesterday, and they had been at their school since kindergarten also, and have been there for 6-7 years. Are you looking forward to moving on, or are you kind of weary about it?
I'm kind of weary, but I'm excited to move on to 7th grade.
Well, good, because it is going to be a lot of fun. You're going to have a lot of new things going on. Electives. That was one thing that's going to be new. Have you heard or read about any electives that are open up to you yet?
No.
Well, good. Well, you know what? At the end of the year, you're going to hear about these things, and you have a whole bunch to choose from. But you're not here to talk about electives, are you? You're here to do some math. So over to the board, young man. What I'd like you to do is, Susie, maybe draw a rectangle up there for us.
Okay.
And inside, we're going to put 1,710 square feet. And this is out of Logan's math book. Now, Logan, it says that the length is 45 feet. So why don't you label the length 45 feet? We need to find the width. So how are you going to do that? And you talk about it with Susie.
Okay.
So we would divide the 1,710 by 45.
That would definitely work.
So if we take 171 and add 390, say 5 times 20. 16 plus 2 equals.
Just a little high.
Yeah,
huh?
a little high. So, oh, you know how to erase it. Okay, good. So now you know what number you need to use next, right?
Yes.
Okay. Good job.
So then we would do 45 times 3. It'd be 15. 3 times 4 equals 12 plus 1 equals 13.
Good.
So 130. So
I'm glad you lined that up right.
if I subtract 6, 11. 11 minus 5 equals 6. 6 minus 3 equals 3. And doesn't equal anything.
Okay, so let's take this off again, okay? All right, so you have room.
So we bring
That's right.
down 0. It's 360.
And do you remember how you got 180 for 4 of them?
It would be 4, so it would
So-
be 8.
8 of them would be,
360.
oh, you did that great in your head. Okay.
I was going to say, there will be a shortcut there since
Yeah.
you just got the 180,
Yeah.
so glad you guys found that.
Okay,
So it would be 8.
right.
So the width would be 38
That's correct.
feet.
Okay,
And the answer is what?
38.
No,
Or
it's
feet.
not.
38.
38 feet squared.
There we go. It's
Just
38
38
feet.
feet.
So remember to
Yeah.
write down your units. So it's 38 feet. 636-4357 is the phone number. We do have phone tutors available
we can
until
just do
5:30.
this,
We'll get to the phones in a moment. But first, we have an opportunity to go out and about. We'll
Can't remember
visit with
which one's
Scott
the
at the Kern
erase?
Schools Federal
That one?
Credit Union, the branch at West High School.
all right.
Hey, thanks. We're here live at West High School, Bakersfield, California. A little bit of a gloomy day, but we have a unique scenario here because it looks just like a regular old high school campus. You can kind of hear some people in the background, and all of a sudden, we're going to find out in just a minute why this is such a unique place to be. I'm here with Lucinda. Lucinda, thanks for your time. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Can you tell us a little bit about, we're standing in front of the gymnasium, we're standing in front of some classrooms, but we're also standing in front of a very unique building here, right? What goes on behind us?
What we have here is the Kern Schools High School branch. We have 5 locations that are located at Ridgeview, Stockdale, Frontier High School, ROC, and of course here at West.
Right.
And what this program is for our students to get hands-on training and with cash handling, member service, and just to kind of, get in,
You're fine. You're doing great.
just to kind of get an outlook of like what the work world will be when they get older. So it's a great opportunity for the students to get work experience and just kind of develop relationships with their staff here on campus, and as well as their peers. Also to teach them about banking and kind of have that cash management responsibility.
Right. So let's be clear here now. This is a real working bank.
That is correct.
Like this is on a high school campus. I can go get money in here if I have an account.
You should definitely
Can you show us?
Yes, I
I want to
definitely
see this place. This sounds pretty neat. So as we come in, I mean, this is unique. This does not look like a regular classroom, right? So we have an actual counter here, for a bank type setting, and you have tellers and all that fun stuff.
Yes.
And how many campuses again have this kind of program?
We have 5.
Okay.
5 campuses.
5
yes.
campuses. And how long has this type of program been happening in the Kern High School District?
This has been going on since about 1999, I believe.
Okay.
And the first branch opened was Stockdale High School.
Wow, and there's 5 of them now.
That is correct.
Okay, and so students can take this actually as a class, right? This can be a class where they can learn how to do banking stuff.
Correct.
Right? How to do some numbers and all that stuff. Go ahead.
Yes, yeah, they take it as a class. It's counted as an elective, so they do get elective credits. And so each student comes in, kind of just sets up and is ready to work for the day.
And
Or
how many
for the class.
how many students do you have?
I totally at Frontier High School I have a total of 8 students.
Okay.
So then each period I have about 3 to 4 students that work for me.
Oh, right. Okay, so each period, each hour that you're open, you have a couple of students and they're all working during that time.
That's
Now, you have to be able to trust these students.
most definitely.
Right.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about the kind of students that you have, and we'll learn later about how they apply, but what kind of students do you have, and what characteristics make them a good working employee for you?
A lot of the students that we have are willing to want to work and kind of expand their knowledge and just kind of get the experience, because we have juniors and seniors that are in these classes. So
Right.
especially more our seniors are going to graduate, going to go out to the work world. So they're the ones that are eager to learn and kind of get the experience that they're going to need. After they graduate, they can go get a job and kind of get that started.
And what a wonderful professional reference that you'll be able to give them after them having worked for you for a year, sometimes maybe even 2, right?
That's correct. Because if they're juniors, they can do the program both years. And that's the majority of the time what most of them do.
Yeah, yeah, wow. Okay, so typical day, here I am a teacher at West High School, and I come up and I want to be able to manage my account, make a deposit, right, or make a withdrawal. How many transactions do you have per day on an average day that teachers that come in?
That actually varies per branch, per student.
And you're at Frontier,
That
right?
is correct.
Okay, so at Frontier High School, how many do you think you have per day?
We probably get maybe around 10 a day.
Okay.
Yeah, and of course, the time of the month, it depends. Well, when it's the beginning of the month, when the teachers get paid, that's when we have the most volume in our branches. But other than that, we have students that come in, just randomly do deposits, do withdrawals, cash their work checks, because we do have students that do work.
Okay, so students can come in here too. Right, it totally makes sense. If they have an account,
Yes.
they can come in here, they can manage their money, they can make a deposit of their work check or whatever it happens to be. Are they open all day long?
No, each branch has their own particular hours. For instance, Frontier High School, we're only open 4th through 7th period. So they can only come in with that time frame to do transactions.
Right.
But if it's after school, of course, they can head over to one of our local branches.
Yeah, yeah. What a unique opportunity for both students and teachers to have this kind of facility here on the campus, right? So when I was at Bakersfield High School, would have loved to have had a facility just like this. But we're going to learn a little bit more about the one here at West High School. We're going to do a little bit of math. Banking involves a lot of math, numbers, and decimal points especially. At the moment, I'm sure we have some math to do back in the studio, so we'll go back to you.
Well, of course, we always have math to do. We have phone tutors available until 5:30. Right now, we have Logan in studio. We'll have Logan do some math. All right, back to the board, young man. Here's another one out of your book. Keisha wants to read for 90 minutes. So far, she has read 30% of her goal. How much longer does she need to read? So she wants to read for 90 minutes. So maybe put 90 up there somewhere so you've got it. 90 minutes. And so far, she has read 30% of that 90 minutes. So how much more, how long does she need to continue reading?
So you would do.
And if you're stuck, you've got Suzie right there.
Yeah.
There's two ways to do it. You can change that to a decimal and multiply, because 30% is 30/100ths. And so that would be 0.30 or 0.3, okay? And you want to do 30% of 90, so you're going to be multiplying.
So it would be 90 times 0.30.
Good.
0
Yeah, lots of
to
zeros.
0. See,
Placeholder.
3 times 0 equals 0. 3 times 9 equals 27.
Right.
Add those together equals 27. G7. And
remember the
you put the decimal point. How many decimals? So it would be 27 more minutes.
Well, this is how much she's read. She's read 27 minutes.
So you would subtract that by 90.
Yeah, subtract 27 from 90, that's correct.
10, 3, 8 minus 2 equals 6. So she needs to read 63 more minutes.
Okay, that's correct. Do we have a minute to show another way?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so let me show you. So she's already spent 30% of her time. So what is left? If like
60%.
almost 100% is the whole thing.
Oh, 70%.
Right. So I could do it in one, well, it's kind of like one step if I did it like this. And then I would get 63 minutes by doing the 100 minus 30 in my head.
Yeah.
So, but this is the way I actually always show, because when you do prices, you do have to show on a receipt what you're taking off. So, yeah.
There you go. Nicely done. Hey, you know what? We need to do one thing right now, take care of a little bit of business. And Caitlin, I know that Caitlin phones into us just about every single week And Caitlin, if you're viewing right now, what we need you to do is to phone us again because we need your phone number so that we can call you back and get you on air. So what we need you to do, Caitlin, is just give us a call back, give us that phone number, and then we can go ahead and get your problem on air. All right, you are so good with percents now, I've got another problem for you.
Okay.
All right, so a little different type of a problem. This one's not going to be in your book. So what article of clothing are you in need of? Like if you wanted to go out and buy clothing, shoes, coat, pants, jacket, sweat, whatever, what would you like to buy?
Probably a new jacket.
A new jacket? All right, so go ahead and write jacket up there. And I'm going to say that this jacket is going to cost you $38.99. Now you have a coupon from the newspaper or something or online, and you're able to take a % off as a discount. What % discount is that coupon good for? And it's not 100%.
I'm not going to pick 50% because that's too easy.
Right, so what % would you like to take off of this?
33%.
33%. All right, so 33% discount. So write 33% discount.
Probably somewhere else, yeah. Oh, no, that's fine, I guess.
Discount.
Okay.
And what I'd like you to do is figure out what the price of that is now going to be.
So 33% would be 67%.
You could do it that way. You learn fast. Okay.
60.
It cuts out a step.
Yep. Now,
You
Mr. Kushine, do you allow kids to round that up to $39 or not?
No, we're going to
I
leave
don't
it at
either.
$38.99.
But, okay.
There's no rounding.
67%, so you would multiply these two. 38.99. 7 times 9 equals 63.
Good.
63 plus 6 equals 69. 7 times 8 equals
56.
56 plus 6 equals 62.
Right.
No.
You got it.
And then 7 times 3 equals 21 plus 6 equals 27.
Excellent.
So now, add this with placeholder. 6 times 9 equals 54. 6 times 9 equals 54 plus 5 equals 59. 6 times 8, 48 plus 5 equals 53.
Good.
6 times 3 equals 18 plus 5 equals 23.
Very good.
Add this all up. 3 plus 3 equals 3. 9 plus 4 equals 13. 9 plus 2, 9 plus 3 basically. So 9 plus 2 equals 11 plus 1 equals 12. 7 plus 3 equals 10 plus 1 equals 11. 2 plus 3 equals 5 plus 1 equals 6. And just put it
You're
all
very
over
good at
2.
explaining.
So you would take the 4 decimals, bring it over 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's right.
It's $26, but that wouldn't be the correct one because
No, it's okay. You just have to round to the nearest penny.
it would be 12 cents.
That's right. Yep.
So
You
what's
got
the new
it.
price?
It's $26.12.
Now I need you to write it correctly because that doesn't look like $26.12. That looks like 26 and There we go. Now we know we have money instead of just a decimal number right there. Nicely done. So 33%, huh? Not a bad deal. All right. Hey, you know what? We do have phone tutors available until 5:30 this afternoon. Right now, we'll go to the phones. And Caitlin, how are you today?
Okay.
Hello, Caitlin. Hello, Caitlin. Well, Caitlin was there.
Oh,
And
Hello.
oh, there you
right
are.
here.
How are you today, Caitlin?
Good. How are you?
I'm wonderful myself. Logan, come on over. We're going to get Suzie to do this because we've got more work for you. But what I want you to do is I want you to listen to Caitlin's question. Here's a pencil. And I want you to work on it while Suzie and Caitlin are doing it. All right? So, Caitlin, as soon as you're ready, let's hear the math problem you're working on.
It took mall security exactly 5 hours, 37 minutes, and 52 seconds to stop each of the mad motorists, inform them that vehicles aren't allowed in the mall, and then ban them from the place for life. How many seconds did mall security spend on this task?
They're banned for life?
Yes.
That's a fun
What were they
problem.
doing again?
They drove their cars into the mall.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't want
Yeah,
that
that's
happening
not
anymore
good.
either. All right. Take a look and make sure that Suzie has all of
Yeah.
your numbers correct.
Because I wasn't sure about this one.
So read them one more time.
5
It
hours.
Mall security exactly 5 hours, 37 minutes, and 52 seconds.
Okay, 52 seconds. Glad I asked.
And what was the question you need answered again?
How many seconds did mall security spend on this task?
All right.
Okay, so this part's in seconds, but this part's in minutes, and this part's in hours. So how can I change minutes to seconds?
Multiply the 37 by 60.
I agree. Okay, so 6 times 7 is 42, 6 times 3 is 18, plus 4 is 22. So we have 52 seconds. And then do you agree with this, that this is 2,220 seconds?
Yes.
Okay. All right, now I think I'm going to get this out of the way because I need a little more room. How do you think I could change hours to seconds?
Multiply by 60 and then multiply again by 60.
That would work. Okay, so 5 hours is 300 minutes, okay?
And then times 60 equals 18,000
Right?
seconds.
Okay. So I have 18,000 seconds and then 2,220 seconds and 52 seconds. So what would I do with those three numbers?
Add them all up.
I agree again. Okay. What do you get?
20,272.
Wow, that's great. You did a great job.
Now, Caitlin, I'm going to put you on the spot. If I had 20,272 seconds, how many hours, minutes, and seconds would that be?
What?
Okay, I have 20,272 seconds. You
Yeah.
with me? Tell me how many hours, minutes, and seconds that would turn into.
Let me see.
Okay, think about going backwards. And where you
Are
started.
you working on something?
Yeah.
Don't even need to work on it.
Nope.
Think for a second. You gave us 5 hours, 37 minutes, and 52 seconds, right?
Oh, it would be 5 hours, 37 minutes, and 52 seconds.
Right, exactly. I was just messing around with you there for a second, seeing if you could see that really quick right there. Anyway, thanks for that call, Caitlin. Nice to hear from you. Nice to see that you're doing well, and congratulations. You've got yourself a meal at our friends from Chick-fil-A. Hey, we have phone tutors available until 5:30. We'll go out to Kern School's Federal Credit Union again, make Logan do some more work, but we'll do it all right after this. Today we're at Del Vista Math and Science Academy, home of the Dragons, and we're here to... Well, today we're at Del Vista Math and Science Academy. We've got some 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. Oh, no, we only have 4th and 5th, right? Yeah. 6th graders out with them today, huh? Yeah. All right, just the 4th and 5th graders are going to work today. So what we're going to do is we're going to first of all work with some pattern blocks. Have you guys ever used pattern blocks or ever seen them before?
Yeah. We see them.
You've seen them before?
Yeah.
Never worked with them, though?
No. Yeah.
A little bit. I'm sure you guys have. You guys are in 4th and 5th grade. I'm sure you guys have used these at some point in your life already. All right? So I'm just going to start putting some out. You guys can kind of spread them out amongst yourselves, all right? All right. So,
You forgot to put them on Jordan instead.
well, spread them all out. Here, we'll give them the whole thing. There you go. You get the rest of them, all right? So, here's what I want you guys to do, all right? First of all, what I want you to do is I want you to make me something, anything at all. All right, I'll give you a minute.
What?
Is that too long?
No, that's so short.
It's too short. You know what? It's a long time if you think about it. So I'm going to have you start now. You have 1 minute, make something. Anything at all that you like.
For a team or
Separate. Because you guys are going to be doing some things in teams in a little bit. But right now, make anything you want. You have 1 minute. What are you working on over there?
At this point, I have no idea.
At this point, you have no idea? Well, what kind of, if you had to give that a name, this is your piece of art, what would you name that?
The legs are an axe. It looks like it. Yeah. I don't need to. I don't know what I'm even building.
So you think these look like legs?
Yeah.
All right, so if these are legs, what would these be?
Look at my face. Human legs.
All right, what about these?
Arms.
All right, what about that?
This is a girl whale.
What about that?
It's like Lisa's.
All right, there you go. I thought you were going to have a two-headed person there for a second. That'd be pretty cool, though, huh? What have you got?
A flower.
And that does look like a flower, too, doesn't it? Nicely done. What have you got over here?
I've got lots of stuff.
Lots of stuff?
A throne. I got some girls over here that have dresses and then that's like that.
Okay.
Right here I have a pyramid of sculpture. And right here's just a bed.
Very nice. See, and you thought that it was going to be too short of time, right? Yeah. Look at how many things you made in a minute. And what have you got?
Triangle.
You've got a larger triangle, right?
Yeah, I tried doing
There you go, out of different pieces, right? And what have you got over on the end?
Me?
Uh-huh.
I have a flower, a heart, and turkey. Not a turkey.
It
but
looked like
just
a
like a
turkey.
random piece I tried making.
There you go.
It looked like a turkey.
All right. So let's take a look at some of the properties of these blocks, okay? What are some things you notice? So if you notice any particular shapes, tell me what they are. Can anybody identify any of these shapes? Just the blocks themselves, all by themselves.
Triangles,
A diamond.
squares.
Okay. So a diamond, which one do you think, do you call a diamond? Is there another name for that?
There is.
Does anybody know another name for that shape? Right, so she's talking about this one right here. What kind of angles are in here? Where are the acute angles? They're on the end, right?
Yeah.
How do you know those are acute? What does acute mean?
Because it's small and obtuse is over big, and this is a right angle.
Okay, and what are the measurements on those? Like, how do you know which is which?
Because like an acute angle is like 40 degrees, and obtuse angle is like 100, and like it's 15 degrees, and like a right angle is 90 degrees.
There you go. So, what was the last one you said?
90.
90 degrees. That's the key, right? You guys all know that right angles are 90 degrees. So if it's less than 90 degrees, it's a what?
Acute angle.
Acute. And if it's larger than 90 degrees, it's
Obtuse.
obtuse, right? So that's one thing to look at, all right? Is there a shape that has all right angles?
Square.
The square does, right? They're all right angles, okay? Now, you were just holding this up. Do you know what this is, that shape?
I think a hexagon?
You think a hexagon? Why do you think that? An octagon. Well, which one is it?
It has, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4.
I think it's a hexagon because it has 6 sides.
Because you said hexagon first, right? Okay.
You count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Are you sure you counted them all? Because if we keep on going like this, aren't they all the same? How do you know when to stop?
Because
I'm only kidding. It's a hexagon, okay? How many angles are there in a triangle?
3.
What do they all have to add up to? How many degrees are in a triangle?
9.
90 for a right angle, but in any triangle, all of the angles have to add up to how many degrees? You guys know that? 180 degrees. Okay? Have you ever heard that before? Yeah, okay. So, what the kids are doing is first taking a look at the pattern blocks and finding some patterns with them, looking at the shapes, the sides, the angles, and what they have in common and what is different about them. We're doing it at Del Vista Math and Science Academy. And once again, thanks to the staff and students at Del Vista Math and Science Academy. We had a great time out there. We do have phone tutors available until 5:30. Right now, we have another opportunity to visit with Scott and our friends at the West High School campus and the Kern Schools Federal Credit Union.
Hey, thanks. We're back here at West High School at the Kern Schools Federal Credit Union branch here on campus. We want to know a little bit more about this place, what they do with the numbers, what goes on in a place like this in a regular school day, regular business day. So Angie's with us. Angie, thanks for your time.
Nice to meet you.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you for having me.
Real briefly, can you tell us a little bit about how you got involved with Kern Schools and how long you've been doing this kind of job here?
Well, I first started with Kern Schools when I was a senior myself. I was a student at the ROC.
You
branch.
are, this is
And I'm
like,
the manager
you're like an
now.
alumni of this
Yeah,
program.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm actually managing that branch now.
Okay.
And so, I'm back there. I've been here. It's going to be 14 years this year
Wow.
already. So, yeah, time flies.
Good, good. That's a pretty neat deal. And which branch did you start at when you first got hired? So you were part of the ROC
Yes.
program.
Uh-huh.
And then where did you go when they first hired you as an employee of Kern Federal
I
Kern
was
Schools Federal?
hired as a teller at the East Hills branch, which
Okay.
is it's not open anymore. We still have an ATM there,
Right.
but the East Hills branch.
Okay. And then you worked your way through. And when did you first get on a high school campus?
Back as an employee still of Kern Schools, it was 3 years after, so 2008.
Okay.
I came back to ROC and I was the assistant supervisor there, and then
Right.
eventually I was manager at the Ridgeview branch for almost a year, and then back to ROC.
Okay, okay. And it's a unique program. We'll talk a little bit more about that later, but students can be enrolled in a class in which they do math and, and economics, and they have this experience in a teller, situation as well, right? Okay, as a math teacher, I know that some of my students don't quite understand how finance works. So for instance, I tell a student, hey, you want to go buy a car? $5,000 is the price tag, right? But by the time you get finished paying for that, you might pay $6,500 or $7,000, and they don't quite understand that. So we have this interest concept. Can you tell me, what do you think is the most common mistake or something you have to clear up for students when they first enter your program, the thing they don't quite understand about banking?
Basically not spending money that you don't have.
Oh, look
in
at
your
that.
account,
Right.
Everybody wants to have the credit card because, it's a credit card, or they think it's a credit card, but it's really a debit card.
Right.
And so, I'm almost 18 or 18 or 17, and my parents maybe allowed me to have a card. And so now I want to go to the mall, go to Starbucks, spend, swipe my card everywhere.
Right.
But if the money isn't there, there are fees attached to every single time that you swipe your card.
Right. Okay, so let's do a little math here. Here we go. Ready? Let's say that I have a credit card.
Yes.
And I actually have no money in my account. Right? I have maybe a debit card or whatever, and you're not supposed to spend money unless you have money there.
Right.
But I'm really hungry.
Yes.
Okay, so I head on over to McDonald's and I spend my $6 on my Big Mac meal.
Right.
And when I pay that back, I'm going to pay $6, right?
No.
No. So tell us what happens. So this is already, my account's at -$6.
Yes, then we're gonna add a $30 fee for you swiping your card and not
Because
having the
we
money.
started with $0. Now we're going to subtract $30. I'm $36 in the hole because I didn't start with any money.
Right.
But I don't know this yet. It hasn't hit me yet. I still have the card in hand. That means I can go
Same
wherever I
day.
want.
Yeah,
I'm
you
going to go to the
you get
movies,
thirsty
right?
later
In
on
fact, I'm going
and-
to take a
yeah.
friend of mine. So here we go. I'm going to go to the movies, and that's going to cost me $20.
Right.
Is it going to cost me $20?
No,
it's not. What else is going to happen there?
$30 more. So $50
Man, this
just
is
for the
painful.
movies.
So we have, let's see, $86, and all I have is a meal and a movie.
Right.
These things are getting a little bit
It
more
adds
expensive.
up, it
Yeah,
adds up.
that's right. I don't have enough entertainment yet. So all I want to do, nice and simple, I'm going to go to the local Circle K and go to the Red Box. We're going to watch a movie late into the night, right? So I'm just going to spend $1. No big
Right.
deal.
No.
No.
$30.
There's more. $30 more.
$30 because you still don't have
I
enough.
still don't have any money,
Right.
right? So looks like we have some serious cash going out here.
Right.
$117 for a
Negative.
movie or two. That's right. There's that big negative sign in there.
Negative, yes.
For a movie or two, a simple meal, right? And all because I didn't understand as a consumer the fact that I had to have money to start off with,
Right.
Or have an actual credit card
Right.
on which I'm going to pay interest,
Right.
and I still will pay more than I actually thought I spent.
Yeah, debit card is definitely accessing your checking account. So if you don't have the money in your checking account, nobody else is going to magically put the money in there for you.
Right.
So you have to make sure you have the money in there. Otherwise, that was 3 fees. That's almost $100 on just the fees.
Now, this kind of mistake is limited just to high school students, right? They're the only ones that make that mistake?
No.
Oh,
no.
who else makes that mistake?
Everyone.
Everybody.
At least I'm sure. And the people that don't anymore is because they've already made it and they've learned maybe from their mistakes.
There you go. Yeah, there's more than one way to learn things. So part of your job sounds like you're educating the students as well as telling them how to be able to work in a professional environment. They have to know what's going on with finances. We want to know even more about what they learn here as students in this program, whether it's at the ROC campus or on one of the Kern High School District campuses. And we will do that when we come back for our last segment. Back to the studio.
All right, thanks for that, Scott. And we have Logan in studio right now. We're going to do a little bit more work, so over to the board. And we're going to do percent of increase, percent of decrease. Haven't decided which one we're going to do yet, but Susie, if you want to just give us a little overview of how we're going to set this up.
Okay, so we kind of realize that percent is part out of whole. But when you're doing percent of increase or decrease, and we can just call it change, percent of change, we have to know the part that changed, okay? So the part that changed is the original price, subtract the new price, and then over the whole price would then be the original price.
Right. So here's some numbers for you guys to work with. All right. Let's say Logan went out, got himself a whole new outfit instead of just a jacket before.
Okay.
And what number would you like to put on that as far as?
$89.
All right. So $89.
Okay. Good.
And what do you think the sale price should be?
45.
Okay. So 45.
That wasn't a very good one, but anyway.
That's okay.
Okay.
We're going to leave it. So now go ahead and see what happens.
Okay. So let me, I'm going to make this a little shorter, okay? You're going to do the part that changed and over the original price. And I like to call the part that changed the difference between the two numbers. So you have the difference between the two numbers over the original price.
So you would subtract 45 from 89.
That's right.
89 subtract 45. So 9 minus 5 equals 4. 8 minus 4 equals 4. It would be $44, so it would be 44 over 89.
Right. And let's actually make this a new problem. I'm not very good at this. Okay. So 44 over 89 so that we can see it separate from that, okay? Do you know what to do next? Okay, so in 7th and 8th grade, when we see a fraction bar, we think divide.
Division.
Oh, so you already knew that. Okay, so we're going to do 44. Let's give you some more room. 44 divided by 89. Very good. Sometimes people put the larger number inside whether it belongs there or not. You did great. Okay.
So we know we can't do 89 to 44. So we would add a 0,
But before, yeah. Okay.
decimal
Right.
right here. So 89 could go into 440. Let's see.
And you could probably think in your head that 89 is close to 90. Okay, you were going to do that. All right.
Times 3, 0, 3 times 9 equals 27. So we need to times that.
That's too small. Can I show you something? I'm going to cover up, sorry, I'm going to pretend this is a 90, okay? How many 9s go into 44? If you think, take off that last number, it doesn't always give you the right answer, but it gives you close.
4.
Right, so why don't you try 4?
Okay, so 90 times 4 is 0. 4 times 9 equals 32.
36.
Oh, 36.
Okay.
Thinking 8.
That's okay. When there's a camera on you, it's really easy to make mistakes. Really easy.
36.
Okay.
So that's 360.
So that seems low, but 5 times 90 would be 5 times 9 is 45 and a 0.
450, yes.
So that's too big. So 5 is too big.
So it would be 360. Did that.
And where do you put the 4?
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, I mean up here.
Oh.
Yeah.
We would put it up here.
Yeah. Very good.
So 4. So we subtract by 360.
No, this time you have to be exact. You can guess when you're
Guess around.
yeah, but you have to be exact when you're subtracting. Yeah.
So here, instead of 360, which was doing it by 90, you're going down by 80, you're going to 89.
So it would just be
4
minus 4 numbers.
Minus 4, so go 360 minus 4.
It would be 356.
Right,
Very
that
good,
way you don't have
very
to work
good.
the whole thing out again.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, I'll finish doing the racing for you, okay?
So 354.
356.
56.
Yeah.
Subtract that. 3, 10, so 10,
10. It's okay, you know it's 10.
10 minus 6 equals 4. So 3 minus 5, give me that. 3, make that a 13. 13 minus 5 is 8. And 3 minus 3 equals 0. So it'd be 84.
Okay, now I'm gonna, let's see how, and then put your 0 on there.
Oh. Add the 0.
Okay, so if I counted by 90s, which one's closest?
810.
Okay, so 1, 2, this is 9. Okay, so if we're gonna
That
do,
would be 801.
excellent, you're doing great. Okay, and I'll take care of the racing.
Whoop, 810 instead of 801.
Oh, but we're
Well,
taking off
subtracting
9
it.
because it was 89.
Oh, that's okay. Sorry
Yeah.
about that. You guys got me going with this, doing nines all the time. Okay.
3,
Shouldn't have erased this.
9. So it'd be 39. And
Okay.
up here would be
9. And we probably want to go one more place to
One
round.
more, because I want you to round it
Yeah.
to the nearest whole number.
Okay, so I've got my 90s up here again.
that would be over, so it would be 360. That's 4.
So if you just put your 4 up here, you already know, even without finishing the problem, you know what, are you going to
It's-
round up or down?
Down.
Right, or stay, I should say.
Stay.
Yeah, okay. So now, .49 is 49 hundredths, which is 49%. So that was the amount that they took off. That's kind of a funny sale, huh?
Yeah.
But it's not bad.
But you know the 49, right, the 44, the 89, you
Yeah.
know,
We
45
knew it
and
was
90
close
is
to
going to be
50.
very close to 50, but not
Yeah.
exactly right there.
Yeah.
All right, nicely done. Well, you know what? For that great work on that percent of change with increase or decrease, you've got yourself a meal courtesy of our friends at Grillin' Burgers. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And I think we've got a quick moment. So I've got another problem for you. And I know this is something that is in your book that you've started on earlier in the year. So we're just going to simplify this, all right? So 3x plus 2, open parentheses. So just put a parenthesis there,
Oh.
Yeah, yes.
all right? 4y plus x. And close parentheses and just simplify that as just a kind of refresher from what you did earlier this year.
So it would just stay at 3x.
Right.
So 2 times 4y equals 8y. Y. And then 2 times positive x would be 2.
2x.
2x.
And,
2x, 3x.
and put plus signs between them.
They're all
Otherwise, it's
positive.
multiplication, yeah. Okay.
So we would add the 3x and the 2x together, which would equal 5x. You just have the 8y.
Very good.
Now, why can't, because I saw you combining things, but why can't you put the 5 and the 8 together now?
Because they have different signs, x and y.
Well, the signs are the same, because I know what you're trying to say, right?
The letter. Yeah,
The letter is different,
The
and those are
letters
called
is
variables.
variables.
There you go. So
I
because the
was
variables
thinking
are different, you
something
can't
like
combine those terms.
I like
So,
to think 5
nicely
x-rays and 8 yams is not 13 anything.
Right. Well, as a reminder, we do have phone tutors available until 5:30. We also have a toll-free number, and that number is at the bottom of your screen periodically throughout the program. Right now, we have one more opportunity to go visit our friends from Kern School's Federal Credit Union at the campus of West High School.
Hey, thanks. We're back here live on the campus of West High School in Bakersfield, and we're at the branch of the Kern School's Federal Credit Union, almost like a classroom. We want to know a little bit more about how students would possibly get involved in a program like this. Paola, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You are the managing director, owner, operator of this specific branch,
Yes,
right?
yes,
So
I'm the
how
branch
did you get
manager.
involved with Kern School's Federal Credit Union?
So I actually got involved at Ridgeview High School. They
Okay.
have a credit union there, and so I did that my junior and my senior year, and then
You're an alumni as well.
yes,
Good.
and then once I graduated, I got hired on
Okay. And how long have you been here at West High?
for 3 years.
Okay. Now, let's say that I'm a student here at West High, and I see this thing walking by lunch every day, and I go, that's really interesting, pop my head in. That's something I want to do. It's January, senior year, I got one more semester. Hey, can I be part of your program?
So if it is the middle of your senior year, unfortunately, you can't do it
So
on
this isn't just
campus.
a pop-in deal where you can just,
No,
Okay, tell us
no.
about the application process.
So you have to be an incoming junior or senior,
Okay.
and during the spring you can actually apply to be in the program. We do go out, my students actually go out to the English classes and do presentations, and so that's how some of the students find out about it. Sometimes their counselors advise them to do the program.
Right.
Sometimes they hear it from friends, and so then they have to apply, go through an interview process, and once we select the students, then they have to go through an academy in the summer for 3 weeks, and then they can start here on campus during the
What a
school
lot
year.
of wonderful professional skills that these students are learning. So they have to apply,
Mm-hmm.
they have to have an interview, they have to go to training, all before they get to be on the job, just like a regular career, right?
Yeah, it's definitely a good job experience for high school students. Because
Is it competitive?
It is, yeah. We only, here at West High, we only have 12 students that we select every year.
Okay.
And so typically we get about 30, 35 applicants.
Wow, so
And
you can really be picky. Now, what do you look
Yes.
for in those candidates when you have 30 people to choose from and only 12 spots?
So most of them don't have any job experience, so we look for good attendance in school, that they are honest, that they're people person, or they're really good with people, because it is member service. We do, member service is our main priority, and so making sure that they're responsible and all that good stuff.
Right. So they have to be an excellent math student.
They don't actually.
They don't,
no.
right. Well, I appreciate the fair answer, the fair, honest answer. They don't have to, because that's not always what they're doing, right? You're talking a little bit more about customer service.
Yes, so we do a lot of member service, eye contact, smiling, all of that good stuff. And so it's not all about the transaction. It's, being here on time, being responsible, and all that good stuff.
Right. So when you train, tell us a little bit about the 3-week training part. A student goes in and says, yes, I want to work at a bank. Sign me up, right? And then all of a sudden they're at training for 3 weeks in the summertime before their junior year or before their senior year. That's quite a bit of time for a high school student. What do they learn there?
So they learn about our policies and procedures, member service. They actually go out to our full service branches and they job shadow there for 2 to 3 days, and they actually get hands-on experience also and help with transactions.
Okay, good deal. All right, so now the student's up and running, right? They're going there every day. They're coming in here. They are a teller at an official branch of Kern Schools Federal Credit Union on their high school campus. And can they wear sweatpants? Can they wear a sweatshirt?
So they can dress casual. They still have to be appropriate because, they are helping our staff and students. However, though, they do have to dress professional once a week. Right. And so every other day is casual except for on Wednesdays they have to dress professional.
Okay, good. So we also have the professional dressing part of learning how to navigate in a professional world.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what do you think, or how many of your students actually get placed at Kern Schools Federal Credit Union when they're done as a full-time job?
So not all of them apply. As you know, Kern Schools is only in Kern County. Some of them do go out for college out of town.
Right.
So I would say about 50-75% of them get hired on because they already have the experience here. They have the training, and so now it's just a matter of going out into the public.
Right, right. But they have that experience. Such
Exactly.
wonderful experience. Whole different experience than they would have at McDonald's, right?
Yes,
Whole
yes.
different experience than they would have in the mall. Not that any of those things are bad, but boy, this is a really professional environment.
Yes.
We're so grateful that you let us come out here
Yes.
and invade your space for a while, keep you overtime a little bit here at the branch. But we want to make sure that we give you the official do the math tile. We can put that up on the wall or maybe have that as your mouse pad or whatever it happens to be here at the branch. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I really appreciate you being able to speak with us. What a really super neat program that they have here, and different than almost any other program that you can do on campus. You just heard exactly how to apply, so if anybody out there's watching and you want to be able to be part of this program, it's not a spur-of-the-moment thing. You got to be prepared. At the moment, I'm sure we have maybe 1 or 2 more math problems, maybe even a T-shirt to give away. We'll go back to the studio.
Thanks for that, Scott. We do have phone tutors available until 5:30. No more time for math problems. Logan has done a nice job today. However, you now are the recipient of a uniform. This means you are now an ambassador for Do the Math. You know what that means?
No.
That means you have to tell people about Do the Math. You can do that?
Yep.
All right, nicely done. And until we meet again, continue to do the math.
Major support for Do the Math has been provided by Chevron, the Kern County Superintendent of Schools, Edison International, Kern Schools Federal Credit Union, California Resources Corporation, Bakersfield West Rotary Stroop Family Foundation, Panama Buena Vista Union School District, Bakersfield City School District, and the Kern High School District, with additional production assistance provided by these supporters of education in Kern County and throughout the state of California.